May I come in?
Good. Come.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, Pakshal. Sit.
Thank you, sir.
You have a very interesting surname. If you become, God willing, the secretary, then you will be secretary.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So, Pakshal, you have done economics from IIT
Kanpur, sir.
Kanpur, 4-year course.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, can you do, SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threat.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't want strength and weaknesses. I just want to know opportunities and threats for the Indian economy.
Sir, on the opportunity part, I would say that India might be a developed country by 2047. So it is an opportunity for us.
This is not an opportunity. This is only an aspiration.
Yes, sir. So we have a demographic.
Be sure of what opportunity means. Opportunities are factors outside the object that we are talking of. Strengths are inherent in it. Okay, and similarly for threats and challenges. Okay, so what are the opportunities and challenges? For example, you can say that most of the countries are following a China plus one policy. This is an opportunity for us.
Sir.
Okay, now come with other opportunities.
Sir, the nano demographic window which we are presently in.
Okay, very good.
So second could be government-led capex investment, like which can cycle in the capital investment cycle in the country.
No, this is only strength. This is not an opportunity. Outside you have to think of reasons outside the country.
Sir,
So if you have a problem beyond 2, you move into now the threats. What are the threats?
So threats could be one, a trend of deglobalization, which we are presently in.
Good.
Second could be wars on two front, where there is Russia-Ukraine war, and like world is completely divided today.
Correct.
So this could be second threat. Third could be internal threats like structural reforms, which we currently are not doing.
Then that will be weakness if we are not doing. Okay, so you named 2 opportunities and 2 threats. Now you were talking about deglobalization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So is the globalization really over?
So I won't say it is over,
Okay.
but currently there is a trend of protectionism across the world, which is on rise, sir, because of internal politics, maybe of some nations.
Can you give some examples of that?
Sir, one could be USA, where it has started a trade war with China. There are countries which are shifting bases from China, European countries shifting bases from China. Tariffs are being risen in countries. For example, Japan also recently raised its tariff rates.
What is meant by the resilience of global supply chain?
So resilience of global supply chain, what means is that supply chain shouldn't be disrupted because of any event, and there should be there shouldn't be any impact of any disruption on supply chain.
So how is that done?
So India and Quad has recently launched a supply chain resilience initiative to resilient the supply chain. Sir, also the companies are diversifying their bases from China, the China plus one opportunity which you talked about. So this is how they are trying to maintain a supply chain which is not impacted by China.
Okay. Well, my last question, what is the difference between safeguard duty, anti-dumping duty and countervailing duty?
Sir, the anti-dumping duty is levied on dumping, where dumping is an activity where a seller sells at a lower price in the foreign country and sells at a higher price in domestic country. So this is to counter dumping, we impose an anti-dumping duty. Sir, countervailing duty is mainly imposed.
What is safeguard duty?
Sir, safeguard duty, I'm not sure of.
Okay.
Sir,
countervailing duty. What is countervailing duty?
So countervailing duty is mainly for subsidies which are export subsidies which are given by domestic country to offset the impact of these subsidies. The government can impose a countervailing duties, so it doesn't harm the domestic products and domestic items, sir.
Okay, okay, right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Pakshal, you studied up to 10th in Central Board of Secondary Education,
Yes, sir.
huh?
Yes, sir.
And thereafter you moved to MP Board.
Yes, sir.
What was the difference between the CBSE and MP Board?
Sir, in CBSE, what I saw was there is focus on holistic development of an individual, where extracurricular activities are also being given due importance. Sir, but in MP board, what I saw was that extracurricular activities are not being focused, and mainly there is a focus on academics only. Secondly, on teachers' part, then teachers were what I experienced is teachers were better in CBSE, but teachers were more experienced in MP board, I would say.
So what is the role of new education policy in this whole improvisation of education system?
Sir, what new education policy is trying to promote is a holistic education, where instead of academics, we focus on multiple dimensions of education, be it vocational education, be it sports, etc. Sir. So we need to create an environment which facilitates the overall growth of an individual, sir.
Okay. Now you have done economics, huh?
Yes,
very,
sir.
very good. It's an excellent subject. Did you opt for economics in your paper also?
Yes, sir. Optional is also economics.
Okay, very good. Who was the first lady to present a budget, the finance budget?
Sir, if I can guess, then it might be Indira Gandhi. As a Prime Minister, she might have
And
presented.
who's the second lady?
The current Finance Minister.
Absolutely. Speak it confidently. Why
Yes, sir.
not? Now you are actually from Dhar, huh?
Yes, sir.
So you tell me, I mean, have you ever seen any village in Dhar where Manrega project is being implemented? Do you know what Manrega scheme is all about?
Sir, firstly, Manrega tries to provide 100 days of guaranteed employment to semi-skilled or low-skilled workers. So in our village also Manrega is being implemented. Yes,
What
sir.
are the challenges in Manrega?
Sir, mainly there are ghost cards and diversions of Manrega fund, which is a major challenge. Also, sir, the social audit of Manrega is currently not being done. So there are many corruption-related allegations in Manrega.
But what about direct benefit transfer? The government has introduced use of technology and all. You mean to say that it's going fast, huh?
Sir, in DBT, one issue which I read was that many beneficiaries have been left out because of financial inclusion at the downward level is not that much. That is why many beneficiaries have left out. So which is a
Do you
issue.
know how many beneficiaries are there in Jan Dhan Yojana? What is the total number? That was a universal scheme, which Honorable Prime Minister launched.
So it is around 50 crore.
Around that. So just check the correct figure, okay?
Okay, sir.
Now you tell me, what is the rating of India? Have you heard about rating system of India?
Yes, sir.
What is the rating of India?
Say rating of India is investment grade, BBB.
So why is it so low? We are saying we are the 5th largest economy in the world. Huh?
Sir, one could be on per capita income terms. We are not currently even in a high middle income country. So we are a low middle income country on that front. So secondly, as our economic advisors have also pointed out, that there is an inherent bias in rating system, since they are mostly Western based. So they rate Western countries. The parameters are based, qualitative parameters are based on Western indicators, which are not suitable for India, I would say.
One sweeping statement which I wish to make is that journalists are better economists than economists. What do you have to say?
So few journalists might be better economists, but I would say economists are better economists, sir.
Then why is RBI governor? Do you know who's the RBI governor?
Shashikant Das, sir.
Shaktikant Das.
Yes.
So he's got a second term. Is he an economist?
I have not read the background, sir.
So anyway, just read it.
Okay, sir.
And do you know anything about FATF? What is FATF?
So Financial Action Task Force is headquartered in Paris. Sir, it is to ensure that money laundering and terrorism in the economy could be curbed, sir.
Is
Black money
India
could be curbed.
India a member?
Yes, sir, we are a member of
Pakistan?
Yes, sir.
Pakistan is a member.
Sir,
Read it.
I just remember that it is in the grey list of it was in grey list
not
of FATF.
anymore, but वो भी थोड़ा देख लीजिए.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Pakshal, I'm talking about Uniform Civil Code.
Yes, sir.
Under what article of Constitution of India we read about the Uniform Civil Code?
So Article 44, which is a DPSP, sir.
Okay. Now, what was the Shah Bano judgment? You remember famous judgment in this matter? What was it?
So Shah judgment also advocated implementation of uniform civil code across the country. It gave rights to Muslim women for compensation in case of divorce, sir.
What are your views about UCC, plus points and minus points, as done by the Uttarakhand government?
Sir, on concept, I am in support of UCC, but there are some structural nitty-gritties which need to figure in, sir. Sir, on the positive side, sir, it is a modern and scientific framework which ensures gender equality at its core. So also, sir, what I believe a secular nation shouldn't have fragmented personal laws. So this could be second point in favor. So third point, I would say, since our all the three organs of government, be it legislature, executive and the judiciary, are in favor of bringing UCC, then a thought must be given for UCC. Sir, on the opposite side, sir, people argue that it is against the right to religion and right to cultural existence of communities. And
What about living relationships?
yes, sir.
Registration or living relationship?
Sir, this I would say is a retrogressive provision under the Act where the living relations have to be registered, and it is like they will be punished if they fail to register,
Yeah.
sir.
Now, you see, the in the Olympic Games, where is the next Olympic Games to be held? Which
Sir,
city?
So if I am allowed to.
Last was Tokyo. Which is the next one now?
So it is Paris, I guess.
You're right, it is Paris.
Yes, sir.
Now you see Russian Federation people, for obvious reason, their sportsmen
Yes, sir.
can participate, but will not be allowed to play their national anthem,
Yes.
neither the national flag.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the Russian Federation people have now thinking of Russian friendship games. IOC is saying no, countries of the world should not participate. Is it fair on the part of International Olympics Committee to say like that?
Sir, what I believe, politicization of any sport shouldn't be there. Firstly, it is my belief that Russia shouldn't have been excluded from IOC only. And if Russia is having some initiative for sports, then it should be promoted, and there shouldn't be any counter from IOC, sir.
Right. You are a student of economics.
Yes, sir.
Of course, much is used in the management, but yes, economics. What is the difference between IRR and ERR? Any project that you design, IRR and ERR have to be seen.
Sir, IRR is internal rate of return,
Very good.
and ERR is external rate of return, I guess.
No, that is economic rate of return.
Okay, sir.
There we see the impact on environment. They are not easily quantifiable.
Okay, sir.
The foreign exchange.
Okay, sir.
Metro, IRR may be, Delhi Metro may be just 1.1%.
Okay,
But ERR is 18%. You understand the impact.
Okay, sir.
Okay. The last budget, interim budget, use the term net zero by 2070. Net zero by 2070. What does that mean? Net zero by 2070.
Sir, net zero means that by 2070, our emissions would be equals to the amount of carbon we sequester inside the earth. So our net emissions, our emissions
Will be zero by the year
equal to-
2000. That's
yes,
very
sir.
good, huh? Of the greenhouse gases,
Yes,
as
sir.
we call it. Okay. You, Taliban. You see, Taliban, when did they actually usurp power or capture power? In what year? Any idea? In Afghanistan?
Sir, earlier in 1996 and currently in 2021.
That is very good. 2000, latest is 2021.
Yes, sir.
Now, Indian embassy closed for obvious reason. It reopened 2022, right?
Yes, sir.
The next year.
Yes, sir.
Now, India is very proactively, interacting with them. Is it fair on grounds, moral grounds especially?
Sir, what our international relation mainly focuses our interest, sir, and what
Okay, you're on the
what-
right line. My last question to you. Now, what is the defense budget spending from the central budget? How much?
Sir, exact figure I'm not aware, but it is around 5.5 lakh crore.
It is, okay, you are giving in figures. Okay, we can translate. What is the budget, total budget? How many
45 lakh
crores?
crore.
Huh?
47 lakh crore.
47, so it's about 8%. Pie
Yes,
chart
sir.
shows me
Yes, sir.
8%. Now, don't you think a poor country like India spending 8% just for nothing? So, what is your feeling? I mean, should we spend so much?
So one would be historical reason where we have wars with our neighbors, be it Pakistan, be it China. Currently also we are facing threats. We have been in standoff with China for like 4 years right now. So
That spending so much money, it has benefits. Does it have any other benefits also?
currently we are focusing on Indianization of defense. So the lower like
How much
MSMEs.
procurement should be from the indigenous sources? Last question to you.
Sir, I'm not sure, but it is 75%.
So, very, very good. So it helps actually manufacturing
Yes, sir.
sector.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Pakshal.
Yes, ma'am.
Pakshal, what is this Salekna or Santhara?
Ma'am, Salekna is a process of voluntary death, religious ritual for that, where a person gives up on his food and eventually which leads to his death, sir. Ma'am.
What is your opinion? Should it be allowed?
Ma'am, as the Supreme Court has said, the Salekna is not a process which is driven out of passion. So it is not like suicide, and it is more closer to euthanasia.
Do you think Supreme Court has delivered a judgment over it? Or it has just stayed the High Court order?
Yes, ma'am. It has just stayed the High Court order, and the observation it has made was in favor of Salekna.
But the final judgment is yet to come.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what is your opinion?
Ma'am.
You are in favor of it.
Yes, ma'am. I am in favor because it is not driven by the patient.
But
And
what about the certain old age people, who are considered to be alive, whom, you never know, in considering modern times, there have been certain examples where old people are left by their kids, and they may be forced to, they can often, instead of just starving them, while starving them, they can often give the explanation that they are undergoing Salekna. What about those vulnerable groups?
ma'am, in Jainism, there is a process outlined for Salekna, where firstly it should be a voluntary process. Secondly, there are some checks and balances. First, a guru needs to prescribe Salekna, where if any Dharma guru prescribes, then only he can do Salekna. Secondly, there are some conditionalities, like if you are suffering from an incurable disease or if you are of very old age, then only you can perform Salekna. So if it is performed under the conditionalities and if it is regulated, then there is no issue.
Recently, a European country came up with right to die. Which country?
Ma'am, France has been trying to introduce a legislation for right to die, where
So why it didn't mention active euthanasia or passive euthanasia, but right to die? It was very particularly, it particularly chose this term.
ma'am, I am not aware. I have to read, ma'am.
Okay, what is the difference between active and passive?
Ma'am, in active euthanasia, we give a particular substance, external substance, to an individual to end his life. In passive euthanasia, we just take off life support. For example, if he is on
You have also participated in blood donation.
yes, ma'am.
How much blood can one person donate? One
Ma'am,
healthy person can donate.
ma'am, generally 450 ml of blood is taken in one donation.
Why only 450?
Ma'am, because within 3 months, this much amount of blood can be rebuilt, and there shouldn't be any issues with the person who is donating the blood. If we take higher amount of blood,
Do you
then
think it will take 3 months to, replenish this blood?
ma'am, for the RBC, yes. For the WBC, it might get in 1 week, and for the platelet in 1 day.
A certain section of people have approached the Supreme Court since they have been formally, according due to the act of blood donation, they have been barred from donating blood. Which section of people am I referring to?
Ma'am, transgender people,
And
and ma'am, this is I am aware of.
the women sex workers are also
Okay,
prohibited.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, what is your opinion? Should they be allowed?
Ma'am, here one thing is that there are scientific and medical concerns where it is believed that there could be 80% transmission rate if transgender and sex workers donate blood. So sexually transmitted disease.
But don't you think that anyhow you are actually the person who is going for donation, he's actually go for the regular scrutiny also. The screening is done.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a check. So
Yes,
why are we barring those people? After a check, if you're not don't fight the fit, don't take the blood then.
Ma'am, because the ratio is much higher, 80% is a very significant amount, I would say. And since 8 out of 10 people would not be able to donate, then there might be any issue where due to mishap
What
on...
has been our fiscal deficit this year?
Ma'am, this year it is 5.8%.
On what account? Earlier it was supposed to be 5.9.
Yes, ma'am.
So how come we reduced it?
Ma'am, mainly it has to do with on the revenue side, where our tax collection has been buoyant,
Anything else?
and non-tax collections
Something
also.
pertaining to capital expenditure?
Ma'am, capital expenditure also was not 10 lakh crore, but it was 9.5 lakh crore in this
So
fiscal.
don't you think capital expenditure was less?
Ma'am, already the target was very high. From the 7.5 lakh crore, we were targeting a 25% increase. So 9.5 lakh crore is also a very good amount, I would
What
say.
is your opinion? Good economics is bad politics? It's often said. Or good politics is bad economics?
Ma'am, politics and economics sometimes can go hand in hand, but many times there is a trade-off.
So what is your opinion? I've yet to figure it out.
Ma'am, in normal terms, economics and politics go hand in hand.
So you mean to say that good economics is bad politics?
No, good economics is most of times good politics also.
Can you give me an example?
For example, shifting from OPS to NPS was a good economics, and I would say it was a good politics also.
Okay. If you have to invest in NPS or OPS in future, which scheme will you opt for and why?
Ma'am, if I would choose my personal benefit, then it would be OPS. But since I would choose take in the consideration the nation and its economy, I would choose an NPS.
Do you think people are that much selfless in our country?
Ma'am, public servant should
I
be
feel
selfless.
I'll go for NPS, but I feel that it's also not only it's also for the betterment of the country also.
Are you being honest when you say that you will choose? Are you honest?
Yes, sir, definitely. Sir, public servant are for public service, and if we don't utilize public money
No,
properly.
the government is offering you the choice between NPS and OPS. Otherwise, you can't do. So, if the government is offering this choice, on what basis are you saying that there is? I will, even though I prefer OPS, I will offer for NPS for the country.
Sir, because being an economist student, I have read the pros and cons of both the scheme.
But the government doesn't know the pros and cons.
Sir, that is why it shifted from OPS
No, but
to
the government
NPS.
has given you the offer, no?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, they won't give you the offer. Why? Please listen to the question.
Yes, sir.
So even if so that means you don't believe in the fundamentals of Indian economy? You're not optimistic for the future?
Ma'am, I am
Because
optimistic.
NPS is based on the market, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So don't you think that after 20 years or 30 years down, you are just 2001.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say 35 years down the line, don't you think that NPS will yield more, because Indian economy is going to be more strong. We are right now among the top 5, maybe, that time we would be maybe among top 2, and then our equity will yield more benefit for you. What is your take on it?
Currently, we have been seeing that the returns of NPS are currently only 8 to 10%, which won't be giving benefits in lines of OPS. That is why some public servants are demanding shift to OPS only.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.